Chapter 15 brings us back to Rout. The map isn't much bigger than previous chapters, but we need to split into 4 separate combat teams to reach the Wolfskin dens in the north, northeast, west, and southwest. This is our most ambitious distribution yet, but with our recent power spike, we can actually go faster than ever, while still setting us up for continued success. The main reason we can afford to spread out so much is that the combat is fairly trivial. We only have to fight Wolfskin and the promoted Wolfsigner, which are locked to one range with underwhelming defensive stats. And with this chapter's Dragon Vein, their stats are pushed even lower, with a -4 debuff to every area. Even with every enemy being the same class, there is still some stat variance, with the Beaststone Plus boosting Keaton's speed at the cost of some bulk, and the Beast Rune boosting some of the Wolfsigner's defenses at the cost of some speed. However, the Dragon Vein lets us get away with all natural 1 rounds, with over 90 displayed hit for every attack. On top of the weak enemies, we also now have the Beast Killer, which effectively has 30 might against the Wolfskin, and being 1 range locked doesn't matter because the Wolfskin can also only attack at 1 range. So while we've only used Subaki for movement thus far, we can take this chapter to push him almost to promotion, being one of our 4 main combat groups. While he gets refreshed to handle the western den, we also have Saizo and Korn in the north, Kagero and Hinoka in the northeast, and Scarlet in the southwest. Saizo has the best matchup to handle the entire boss group, and I specifically need Saizo in the north, so that he can lunge at 2 range and then kill everything on enemy phase at 1 range. While we don't have to move quite as far to get in range of every enemy as in Lunatic, we still need 1 lunge to reach the right spot for normal mode. And then of course, we also need flyers as our lead units, to skip past all the mountain terrain. We won't need flyers for several more chapters though, so after Scarlet flies herself to her destination, we're free to make a very important reclass to Bow Knight. Because this is coming from her access to the Outlaw class tree, this means she stands to gain Outlaw's level 1 skill Lock Touch after getting 1 level, then the level 10 skill Movement +1 after her seconds. Movement +1 has a lot of applications, already allowing for 1 turn save very soon, and while Scarlet doesn't get a level up this chapter, we might as well make the reclass now, so we can use the more accurate Brass Katana. Everyone else was able to avoid ending adjacent to a woods tile, but Scarlet wasn't, so the Brass Katana lets us keep over 90 hit, in spite of the Wolfskin's avoid boost. As for Subaki, the Beast Killer is able to carry his combat, reaching the Oko threshold for the speedy but frail Beaststone Wolfskin, and doubling the bulky but slow Beast Rune Wolfsigner. Perfectionist gives him perfect hit against the first Wolfskin, and it works out so that Subaki is fighting the Aegis Wolfsigner, and Saizo is fighting the Pavice Wolfsigner, so we don't need to worry about any proc skills. Like previous chapters, Kagero is just barely able to get her kills while teaming up with Hinoka, with Rallying Cry letting Kagero use the Brass Shuriken. The Wolfskin both choose to attack into Kagero because of her lower defense, and in placing Kagero and Hinoka where I did, neither Wolfskin can attack from a tile with terrain. I'll mention that Hinoka can do really well this chapter with the magical Bolt Naginata, but since I had room to trigger the Dragon Vein, her Bolt Naginata combat is overkill, and we might as well go with the more accurate brass options. In addition to all the experience this chapter gives Kagero, Saizo, Scarlet, and Subaki, this chapter is also awesome because of all the item drops. The boss group in particular drops a Spiritus and Speedwing, which immediately make their way into the hands of their rightful owner. Saizo also gets level 5 here for Savage Blow, which has a few niche applications for this run, as we continue to strive for 1 rounds with as much reliability as we can achieve.
No other way.
And that's chapter 15 completed in 1 turn. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.